Frank Reitenbach, welcome to the Times Online.
Thank you very much.
How are you today?
I am good.
You are no stranger to the industry, film and television. So tell me a little bit more about this project.
Obviously, it's a very different project to the other stuff I did. First of all, it's obviously not a fictional character. He was very well known, very well loved by the public, and also not so well loved by a part of the public. So it was a massive challenge for me to get into the character of Hansie and try and understand this complex guy who had a very complex life. Exceptionally confident for parts of his life, great champion, world beater, phenomenal leader, and yet as strong a leader as he was, almost even more so, loses credibility because of involvement with bookies and stuff like that. So the challenge was to find his character, to get into his skin, as it were, completely. And then when the movie was being shot, to try and keep that emotional continuity going. Whenever I shot specific scenes, to check it with the director and check it with my own research and how I felt, and to use those parts and plug them in appropriately at certain stages. I think maybe the analogy, by no means am I even putting myself in the league of a Mozart or anything like that, but they would say of Mozart, he would have the whole piece of music almost already finished in his head before he would write it. And I think I had 18 months to prepare for this. So in a way, I felt like I had that whole character in there. So whenever I had to sing a specific tune in a scene, I could draw on that and play that. Peter, can God ever forgive me for what I did?
What sort of research did you go through? I mean, did you have to spend a lot of time with the families, especially someone like Bertha and Franz? What sort of things did you...
I spent a lot of time with Franz, simply because we trained together. There was there were a few aspects of Hansie that I wanted to get down. And one of the things that I couldn't just do in a short space of time was become exceptionally fit. And to go through that whole process of going to gym every morning, in the early mornings, and knowing that you're not just going to sit on the bike, read a magazine, and just for about 20 minutes. We literally would almost faint by the end of it. And to continue doing that for about 8 months is grueling. Mentally, it's harder than it's physically, because eventually your body is almost swearing at you and saying, do not take me to the gym again, not today, just go and eat chocolate cake or something. So physically, that was really important. But some of the other stuff, I watched cricket matches, and I would watch the crowds and how they would react to Hansie. I read books about Hansie, psychological studies of him. I did spend time with the family. I went to his old school, spent time with his headmaster. We interviewed players. I mean, there's just so many things. And one of the fun things that I did was I was privileged to watch some of the home video footage of some of the ex-players when they went and toured India or Pakistan, and some of it was hilarious. It really was funny, but it gave me a good insight into the atmosphere of what these guys were involved, what kind of, like the testing times in tours. What was Hansie's conditions like in India? What did he encounter? That sort of thing.
The world is anxiously waiting for heroes. Are you going to be one of them?
I think I was fortunate to have met Hansie when I was really young. I met him as a boy, and he was essentially a boy too. He's 15 years old, and I think I was around about 11, 12. And I remember his parents came to our house because Franz was injured in a cricket match. He happened to play in a Nuffield Cricket Week, SA Schools or something, and my dad's a medical doctor. So while they were attending to Franz, Hansie and I naturally cruised to the back garden, pulled out a cricket bat and ball and played. And I remember I was very intrigued by this guy. First of all, his name, Hansie, was like, okay, that's different. Yeah. But just remembered what a fun guy he was to be around. And it was the kind of guy I would have said to my mom, Ma, I want to go and play at his house again, because he was that kind of person. So there was something of the Hansie unadulterated that I met and always remembered. And I don't think because of what he had done with the bookies and stuff, it made him all bad. Because that was the weird thing I couldn't get, was this either or attitude towards what he had done. I think I preferred to look at it as both and, holding both what he had done and essentially knowing who he was as a person. So to sum that up, I think what I discovered in the movie was what Bertha had said at the funeral, when she said, for the last 2 years I've wanted to shout it out, I wanted to scream and tell the rest of the world that essentially Hansie was still the same guy. Even though he made mistakes and he messed up, he was essentially the same person.
In terms of cricket, you said you used to play with Hansie. What would you consider yourself, more of a batter or a bowler after this movie?
I would say I was a bit of an all-rounder. All right, but I preferred I preferred the batting. Okay, and I played once with Hansie, so I was in his league. I mean, you know, it's crazy. Hansie, France, Alan Donald, Nicky Boyer, and I think Louis Boyer, they used to play in the back garden. I mean, we're talking about the 4 international cricketers right there playing as kids in the back garden. So you can imagine what kind of competition that was. But as a kid, I was close my eyes and hit it as hard as I possibly can and see what happens. I remember my first match I played was under 10 or something, and I hit 9 fours in something like 4 overs, and then obviously was caught out, you know, so made 48 or something.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
That's actually really impressive. So no cricket, or do you think you'll pursue a career in cricket now?
I'm completely addicted to golf. So so golf is that's like my fantasy career is golf. But acting's my day job.
So maybe do you think for one day you'll do an Ernie Els movie?
I'd love to. My word, I'd love to. Yeah, I know that would be off the chart.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, Frank, it's been awesome chatting to you. Good luck with the movie, and I look forward to seeing it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.